right, where you want to start? Where you want to start? Give it to me. I didn't want to start with Kodak Black. Kodak Black is great. Now, where do you want to start? Go
ahead.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
What we did?
Nothing. That's the point.
Oh, man.
Gonna let this nigga take it to the next level on us.
The competition?
For years, I've been saying, yo, let's turn it up on these guys out here. Let's take things to the next level.
I'm not sure if I want to classify this as taking it to the next level.
Not Parks. It's the next level.
Is it?
It's another level.
I don't want to be on that level.
Maybe not the next. It's a level, though.
It's a level.
It's a level somewhere. Yeah. Well, T.I. recently found himself in a lot of heat.
Can I preamble this by saying I think that grown men talking about a teenage girl's body parts is weird.
Well, that's kind of everyone's problem here.
Okay,
T.I. included.
Cool. I just want to say I haven't heard too many people with that take, and that's all. But let's deliver the news and react.
I don't know if my conversation has much to do with the female anatomy.
I agree.
And I do think that I agree with you. We don't have any place to speak on that.
Right.
But it's interesting because I also don't have a daughter.
Right. Nor do I.
And neither do you guys. Right. So it's like, how do we say who's able to say what we're all imagining to some point? But no, we're not talking about female anatomy. We're not doing that. Yeah. T.I. is facing some backlash because he appeared on a podcast and they asked him a question and he took things to a different level by telling the world that he accompanies his 18-year-old daughter to the gynecologist to check her hymen. And that was all she wrote. That was all you had to write.
Yeah.
There
was more written.
Yeah, I didn't hear the tone.
Let me tell you guys. We did our podcast. We recorded it Tuesday. We knew we were going to have to record early on a Thursday. I was a little worried about the content. But Tip turned it up. Boy, I was home clapping. I was like, whoa, 30 minutes to you. So now that we've started, let's just address the elephant in the room. What's a hymen?
It's
the cherry.
Yeah, it's what breaks when intercourse happens, or something else.
Well, according to what women have been saying,
the hymen is a thin piece of mucocosal tissue.
You got it.
Yeah, I guess another object could do it.
Or partially covers the external vaginal opening. It forms part of the vulva or external genitalia and is similar in structure to the vagina.
Just want to know, Maul freestyled that? He didn't read that off any script.
He did great.
Yeah, I thought I did a good job.
You did, Maul.
Thank you, man.
Do it again. So
Maul paid attention in sex ed.
The only class. You are nasty.
He went there for the free condoms. Yeah. It's cool.
Did you go to sex ed in school?
Yeah.
I should have stayed in school. I was about to say.
It wasn't
as cool as you think it was,
not
man.
at all.
You get one condom at the
60-year-old
end
white
of
guy is
completion.
telling you about vaginas. It's kind of awkward.
Condoms would have been whack at 16 too. The fuck you Rory beefing that they gave him one. All right, I threw that shit in the trash like the receipt.
Joe was crazy.
Look at me trying to take things to the next level. I'm
joking.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Bro. Take it.
So, all right, that is what a hymen is. And the internet erupted because this is controlling, this is abusive. I'm just saying the things I read. I'm not a woman. I don't have a daughter. I don't know any. I just learned what this is.
Policing.
I'm not policing, controlling, and not doing anything. But yeah, they called him an abusive, controlling piece of shit dad. If you were my dad, I would tell you to fuck off and get the fuck out of my face. Like, it was bugging out on Tip.
I mean, yeah. It's their family, so I don't think that.
See, because that's another rule of mine.
Right.
I don't tell parents how they should parent.
Sure. So taking away from that, maybe we just discuss the bigger issue of like that's not really like a scientifically proven thing. Checking the hymen for virginity.
It can be broken.
It doesn't
in
mean
other
it.
ways.
Women are telling me that it can be. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what women are
like
talking
what
about.
if she even masturbated or something?
So then
that's I want to say.
Woman's point was, what are you proving with that? And
Right.
I think T.I. replied, and I don't know if he's joking, so let's preface this with that. we do not.
I didn't hear the tone of how he said it.
I don't know if he's joking.
Weird thing to joke about.
He said it very eloquently, though.
But he says everything eloquently.
Yeah.
The room erupted in laughter, and the room was full of women. So, and those women later on, and this podcast wasn't even T.I.'s podcast. This was Miguel's wife's podcast with her co-host. I don't have their names directly in front of me, but they issued an apology today for their knee-jerk reaction. They also deleted the episode. So they took action. They took action. They didn't do it for clicks and then just put out the apology and keep the episode up. So kudos to them. But yeah, they've been tearing T.I. ass up for about 3 days now.
Yeah.
I think I understood what T.I. was trying to say. He was trying to say he was a father that was like very overprotective of, which most dads would be with their daughters. But I think for one, I don't think he should have said this on a public platform.
Yeah, it seems like something you should keep at the crib.
And two, it's like, you know, if you and your daughter have that relationship, then I think that should be a relationship between you and your daughter. Like, don't put that on a public.
Everything isn't for everybody.
Yeah, that was my only thing. I'm not mad at him being that involved in his child's life and making sure that, you know, she's not out here, you know, running around doing anything that he wouldn't want her to be doing. But
yeah,
don't put that on a public platform.
Yeah.
Especially with your teenage daughter that has to then go back
she's in school.
to society.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have a famous father.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say that how you maneuver as a famous parent to your of age child, like your 18, when they have to really go out and deal with the world, school, classmates, their peers, their friends. It's important. Like I even think twice about the things I even write under my kids' Instagram because it's like I don't know what you got going on.
Yeah.
I don't know how you are with your friends. I don't know how they're receiving you. I don't want to embarrass you. I would have had a fit if my mom did some of this shit or my dad when I was a kid. Like, fam, I'm cool out here.
Right.
Yeah. Your hymen was definitely not broken at that age.
I don't have time for Rory today. I ain't even paying Rory any money. So
it's different for I know for us as young men when we were growing up, we were looked at as corny if we were still a virgin at a certain age. Like
of course.
I know for girls it's obviously different, but I mean, you know, I can only imagine the type of shit she's dealing with now.
Well, yeah. Well, she was liking Twitter comments that were basically saying, "Get the fuck out of here, Ted." Now, I don't know if that means anything, but
it does mean something. But yeah, it's like a practice. The practice of checking the hymen is kind of like the world is trying to banish it because in a lot of places people are punished really horribly for that. Women are punished really horribly for that. So for him to practice, like that's another thing I've seen a lot, and people even say it in our comments, like, "Yo, people do this all over the world. Like it's okay thing to do." But no, people are like,
well, no, they do it for maybe it's religious reasons or back.
Yeah. But women are like punished for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not cool.
And aside from that, if your kid is 18, I'm not talking about Tip because how he parents is how he parents. But if my kid is 18 and he wants to have I don't have a daughter, a private meeting with his doctor, he should be able to, I feel like. It's your doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
But the doctor told him that the hymen could be...
She had to sign something.
Could be
so
broken, though.
He could see that information.
Okay. I could get my kid to sign something too.
Yeah, no, I'm just putting that in there.
That doesn't say much to me.
Right.
With
that
privacy.
That doesn't mean anything to me. And again, I don't want to continue to speak about how T.I. chooses to parent because I don't have a daughter. But this sounded nuts.
It sounds nuts.
It sounded nuts.
T.I. is wild.
Yeah.
The doctor told him that the hymen can be broken in activities other than vaginal sex, such as bike riding, athletics, horseback riding, other forms of.
And Tip said, "Nah, she don't ride no horses.
She don't ride no bikes.
She don't ain't no bike.
Yeah.
She don't ride a bike.
She don't even play no sports.
Yeah, nah, she don't breathe.
Now give me back my results expeditiously."
Yeah, but to Parks' earlier point, like I never know when I see stuff like this. I never know if it's genuine or if it's done for promotion.
So I think some of it
because
was
it was genius promotion on his part. And if you have a new podcast, I said this a few weeks ago,
Right.
Yeah, I think that T.I.'s been.
Yeah, but you
That's
don't.
that's
No.
Now using my daughter's
teenage
No,
daughter
that's
vagina
for promotion
for
for
that.
your T.I. You don't need to use your daughter for promotion for your podcast. Like that's just
It seems out of pocket.
I'm sure a lot of it he was just kind of just joking a little bit,
And I didn't listen to this episode, but I don't think he went there saying, all right, well, I don't know what you guys have on your list, but I want to talk about this. It probably came up in conversation.
I think what he was really trying to say is, yes, I do have those conversations with my daughter. I don't want her having sex right now. Like, so all these little boys that's, probably trying to take her out and date her, like, ain't nothing happening.
I mean, she's 18 years old, so I don't think you really have too much say at that point.
Yeah,
personally,
you have some say, but so that's what I'm saying.
That was the question I was about to ask y'all. Like, do you feel like that's something that you have any say in if you have a daughter that's 18 years old?
Not that you have a say.
You don't have a say in shit. You can't control shit. It's none of your business.
But you want your daughter. You always want your daughter to know, like, I'm your father forever, and I'm gonna always be here to have these conversations whenever you want. Like,
but who's to say that she wasn't?
That's a very different message from sign this paper.
No, I think that's a lot. Like I said, a lot of that I think T.I. was just having fun, joking. But I do think that what he was trying to put forward is, yes, me and my daughter have these conversations. Like, our communication on that is very clear. Like, I think that's ultimately what he was trying to say.
It can't be that clear.
Between him and his daughter?
Yes.
Why?
Because she's liking all of the comments that are against him.
That's just fun.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
She could probably feel that.
Yeah, we don't know that.
You don't know that.
No, listen,
it's not just fun.
Listen what I'm saying.
We don't know
but
that.
liking a comment is not, I don't put too much weight into that.
Sure, that's
like
fair.
That, to me, that doesn't mean.
I know, but part of communication is understanding the other person's point and how they feel as well.
Absolutely. Correct. Absolutely.
So just because T.I. expressed how he feels and is going about it that way, if he don't know where his daughter stands on that, or if he don't care, it's a different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but from what we can see, I mean, they look like a pretty close.
Men. You can't police women.
No.
You cannot police women.
Not.
Women are not possessions. You don't own them. You cannot control them. Mind your fucking business. That's to men, not T.I. That's family. That's his business.
No, but
it feels
your
like
daughter though.
You can't control your daughter.
Your teenage daughter.
Okay,
I mean,
is there?
You have some
she's 18 years old.
Is there a world where T.I.
That's a tough pill for parents to swallow sometimes. But
it is.
You can't control your kid,
and certainly not to the point of, like, this is all hypothetical. Whatever. She could have a normal, healthy relationship with someone, a normal, healthy sexual relationship with someone, and it be okay. I could see a situation where, yes, you can control your daughter if she's going out doing heroin. Yeah, maybe you should step in and do some shit. But if someone is having normal, healthy relationships, it's not really your job to say what they do in those relationships.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
It's true.
But like I said,
you shouldn't even play like that. Even if you're playing, you shouldn't play like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like some jokes is just, who gets that? Who's laughing?
Right.
Yeah. But, again, I think what he was ultimately saying is him and his daughter he is involved in her life. Like he, lets her know, like, we're going to have these conversations.
Yeah, listen, I think there's a world where T.I. just took his daughter to the gynecologist as a parent does. Yeah. And part of going to the gynecologist is part of, hey, you have to sign this. And he may have jokingly said, yo, you want to sign this so I can see? Mm-hmm. And his daughter maybe isn't even thinking about sex and was like, of course, Dad. I'm not tripping.
Right.
And that's all it was.
Yeah. I think
which is speculation.
That's what we've been doing this entire time. We weren't there. So I'm speculating from another perspective.
Yeah.
I know, but I want to be clear.
I started with maybe there's a world where.